Hi, my name is Ferman Konukman. I'm a faculty member at Qatar University at the College of Education in the Physical Education Department. Let me share my presentation today, and I would like to thank for this opportunity. Today I'm going to talk about COVID-19 and teaching physical education. When COVID-19 started, especially in our field, we had a little bit hard time to understand how COVID-19 is going to affect our teaching because physical activity is really important, but we cannot go to the gym. Basically, on this presentation, I'm going to talk about what are the new opportunities for us. I believe almost 2 years we had a big restriction on physical education in schools, but COVID-19 actually showed that physical education is such an important subject matter for our children's health. First of all, I would like to talk about Qatar. Qatar located is in the Middle East, and you know that because of World Cup is very well known that it's going to be in Qatar 2022. I'm going to talk about a little bit Qatar and Qatar University. Qatar University is located in Qatar, in Doha, and established in 1973. As of 2020, there are over 23,000 students at Qatar University. We have 10 colleges, and I am working at College of Education in Department of Physical Education as a faculty member. And our university has a language of instruction, both English and Arabic. And today I'm going to talk about especially COVID-19 and how it has changed the face of education in the world. We know that this pandemic has forced not only K-12 schools, but also those in higher education. So almost 2 years, or many countries 1.5 years, they had online or distance learning instruction at the universities. But also realized that public and private schools in elementary, secondary, and high school, they have also had online distance learning and instruction. Definitely, there are benefits of online education, and many supporters of distance learning, they believe that online education may give many profits to students and teachers because there is a flexibility. It's not traditional teaching. It may reduce the cost of tuition and everything, especially for higher education, and it may help to increase diversity of the student body. So before COVID-19, actually, especially in higher education, there are a lot of free online courses or not expensive courses. There are online bachelor, master's, PhD degrees now. And also there's online high schools available as well. And definitely has a lot of benefits. Also, supporters of distance learning indicated that more classes can be offered in the online setting because it's different than traditional course enrollment. So you may have more students actually. We know that there are platforms deliver pre-recorded lectures, webinars such as Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, and Udemy. Definitely these platforms improve quality of education. A lot of students enroll on those courses, especially high schoolers, college students, even people who has retirements would like to learn new skills. They enroll on these courses. It's very non-traditional, and it is providing a lot of opportunities for us. I mean, definitely this century is distance learning and online technology century, and has many benefits as well. Now, we know that there is an online public schools as well. One of them was a good example of this. One of the first public online virtual school was founded in 1997 in United States and at Florida. They call it Florida Virtual School. So this is an online school in Florida. And the school is currently providing more than 190 free online courses for K-12 students and enrollment of 215,000 students so far, more than 200,000 students, including physical education course as well. Currently, several higher education institutions start to create online teaching modules that high school physical education teachers can use for distance learning teaching. These modules include content videos, assessment, pedagogical teaching ideas, tips compared to the traditional gym setting. So there's a history of online physical education, especially COVID-19. Physical education teachers has a lot of responsibilities for teaching online lectures compared to traditional gym setting. We know that many countries in Europe, America, they start to apply this online physical education. They start to teach these modules. Students start to write their diaries. They do some home activities, and teachers lecture this distance learning courses for a while. Before that, physical education was in gym, and it looked a little bit traditional, but online instruction definitely provided some benefits and challenges as well. During the COVID-19, and this happened last 2 years, kids couldn't move. There was a restrictions for movement, and of course, obesity epidemic was a big issue. And unfortunately, COVID-19, children couldn't move a lot. So this means that this gives us a new opportunity for physical education. I believe physical education has an advantage now because parents know that physical activity is important, physical education is important, children need to move. They realize that children need more activity, and obesity epidemic is really high now in the world. Before pandemic, I think parents didn't see or school administrators didn't see physical education as a unique subject matter because they see that as a like an activity class, not a subject matter. And unfortunately, traditionally, administrators or parents give more value to reading, writing, mathematics, English, all those skills, and they never see physical education or art or music as a subject matter. They don't see that. But after pandemic, I think administrators and teachers and parents realize that physical education is a unique subject matter, has many benefits to children's overall health, not only physically, but academically as well. This was a new opportunity for us, and I believe physical education teachers should take advantage of this condition. When COVID-19 happened, there were 3 conditions for returning to school. First of all, face-to-face education. Schools started, and there were strict protocols. Some of the schools has distance education, hybrid education. Some at home and school face-to-face distance, right? Hybrid education means that can be both. Distance classroom models can be used to maximize teaching effectiveness and student learning. I think the biggest key things is motivation here. It should be definitely motivation. Kids should be motivated, and teachers as well. This was an important issue, how to motivate children, and especially in distance education, students should be provided with information, which quality materials and evaluation. So these modules should be produced very carefully in a professional way. And there are ways to do that. When I look at the literature, there are a lot of publications how to communicate with children and parents during teaching online physical education. There are many ways to do that. It can be as letters, emails, phone calls, video chats. Teachers must use as much as possible the technology, or a website. talks about this online instruction and teaching modules, right? Definitely is an advantage, right? Simultaneous teaching can be promoted using joint lectures like video conferencing and live chats. It can be asynchronous teaching, right? They can record some materials and they can provide this to using by email to children and parents as well. Definitely, teachers can increase the quality and effectiveness of physical education in these two ways. I think teaching online physical education is reality now. It's become so popular, but we just returned to school and teachers can do still some hybrid teaching and assignments online. Distance learning programs prepared by physical education teachers definitely should reflect a value-oriented approach that includes socialization, interaction, communication, teaming, problem solving, and cooperation, because all students are isolated as a result of pandemic. I think problem-based learning is a good opportunity for this online teaching or hybrid teaching. Physical education teacher is going to be like a coach, helping, tutoring those students online or hybrid way for their healthy lifestyles, or can we call it physical activity education, is a new terminology. Now, physical education is out of borders, out of classroom, and out of gym now. Physical education teachers can reach out students at home, give them hybrid instruction or already online recorded instruction. I think this is definitely an advantage for them, and they can shape the lives of these children. Because obesity is a big issue now, nobody moves. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us a lot of issues, not only health issues or health bills for government, but if children's health is gone, it's going to be a big issue, because in the future they will be adults and they can carry over these issues as well. Definitely an online program, online physical education program should be problem solving, problem based, right? Students can design their exercise, their nutrition program, even they can help their parents about this. Can we call it physical education or physical activity education? I think for me, as a teacher educator, same meaning. But definitely physical education teachers are physical activity educators. We can teach healthy lifestyles for them. And this pandemic showed that physical education is really valuable. And physical education teachers can teach physical activity as well using online or hybrid instruction. Physical education teachers is going to act like a personal trainer or coaching in this case. Technically, we are true. I mean, we are personal trainer, personal coaches. We are trying to help those children becoming active for a healthy and active for a lifetime. I think that should be our main approach. When I talk to my students, because I'm teacher educator at the college, I tell my students, if you have really impact on these children, elementary school, middle school, or high school, let's say you have seen them 20 years later or 30 years later after your retirement. If any of those children tells you, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, thank you so much because you were my physical education teacher during high school or middle school. Your classes were so much fun and I learned a lot. Still, I run, exercise, diet, play sport. I have a healthy lifestyle because you were my teacher and you taught me that. And those cases, I told my students, you are the best teacher in the world now, right? Because you change someone's life. You touch them and you teach them a physical activity education, and they're adults now, and they're still practicing these wonderful skills and drills. Definitely, pandemic showed us that we can be a coach or physical activity educator or like a personal trainer or coach during this pandemic, and there are really good cases as well. Teachers can teach many things online: nutrition, health, physical activity, physical drills, uh, like strength training, a kind of simple plyometric training. They can talk about the benefits of exercise. They can show them videos. Students can design their programs. They can practice jump ropes at home, or resistance training they can do without any equipment. But of course, any approach has benefits and disadvantage, right? Uh, Teachers should develop online programs that will enable students to develop their basic skills at their own level, because each child is different, right? According to their skill level, we have to develop these online module programs. And also, teachers can prepare a health and wellness-based model that promotes the healthy lifestyles because of physical inactivity. We know that even before pandemic, kids has always at home, on computer, on screen, or cell phones or iPads. Nobody's moving anymore, unfortunately. Nobody's playing outside anymore. I think this pandemic give us an opportunity teaching these courses online, because this generation is very online oriented. And I think we can use this power. We can help them and use and teach them some activity. There are good examples of that in community. I see a lot of research papers, a lot of presentations about that. We can do wonderful practical applications in physical education. For example, like buying a textbook, right? We can actually encourage them to buy a heart rate monitor at home. Technology is becoming really cheap and cheaper, like pedometers, all this stuff. It can really help them to see their records. I think we can encourage parents to buy this kind of equipment for their children, and we can record their physical activity using this kind of programs. For example, Polar has really nice equipment. This equipment students can practice at home, and teachers can track the physical activity. And this can be their application. Teachers help them to design individual programs, maybe walking, jogging, or a kind of plyometric training at home, especially stretching. And they can see the benefits of this kind of interventions. And definitely this polar monitor is going to give an idea. The concepts I talk here, I know that many of you know, this is not new. Or you know all of them in lectures and textbook, or you see on the research. But definitely online physical education is a great opportunity for us, or hybrid instruction. We can reach out many children at home. We can call this a kind of home physical education activities, and they can be alternative to physical education, traditional physical education classes during the pandemic. And hopefully, inshallah, we are trying to maintain and increase a moderate level of physical activity during this process, and we can improve their performance and progression. Actually, before pandemic, we had a big physical activity issue, obesity, and all of them. But pandemic showed that these things can be worse even. And I believe this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us teaching these wonderful concepts in physical education. The concepts I told you, they are not new, like most likely the last 20 or 30 years we are talking about them. But definitely this pandemic is give us a wonderful opportunity to show in schools importance of physical activity and physical education, because kids spend a lot of time at school. We know that. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and we can use these online modules not only for classroom, tracking children at home. They can develop their personal fitness portfolio. Even we can include parents, right? If they can be part of the training, why not? The whole family can work on this. Definitely, this is a preventive medicine, right? If we help them to teach these healthy lifestyles. For home physical education activities, we can use heart rate monitors. They are cheaper and available. They can buy in certain companies, like buying a textbook. We can record daily physical activity, and it can provide us accurate results. and motivation for both students and teachers and parents as well, right? Because this is a very valid data for health and education sector. We can show them how they're improving. Here, a physical education teacher is giving instruction them using this distance learning, as you see in the photo. Implementation, teachers can design a home physical activity programs using this GIF and animated art. They can distribute this heart rate monitors, like Polar H9 is an example. It can be an introduction session for parents and students, and they can train them and they can do simple fitness tests, right? But as also they can follow up students and evaluate them, right? It's really, it looks like a preventive medicine and physical activity and health. The main problem for physical education teaching profession is an international scholar I taught in different countries. It's a very universal problem, like America or Qatar or Turkey or Europe. Definitely physical education programs, they feel the negative effects of this pandemic, right? And also many countries in the world, there's a financial crisis, and school budgets has cuts, right? The first thing they cut, unfortunately, physical education, art and music, right? Shouldn't be that way, actually. Schools were eliminating physical education programs, and physical education teachers are having hard time to find these full-time jobs before epidemic. And now it's getting worse in epidemic because of all those things. But inshallah, this is giving us a good opportunity. I see this physical education teaching profession has this universal issue anywhere in the world. This is just common. But I think pandemic show us schools, principals, administrators, and governments, and many department of education in different countries. Physical education must be in schools because it's really related to health of students, right? Because if these kids become obese and they don't have any healthy lifestyles, most likely when they grow up, when they become adults, they will be obese. We know that research shows that. This makes multi-million dollar, billion-dollar health cost to governments, but also it's killing our children in their academic success as well. There are definitely negative issues in physical education anywhere in the world. Low workplace moral, the elimination of teaching as well as coaching positions, increased size in physical education, class size because more students now, and of course there are limited resources like equipment and supplies. In this case, I think physical education, teaching online physical education or physical activity education has an advantage. Definitely we should consider this, right? It's a nice opportunity for us to reach out those schools, and we can show the importance of quality of physical education. Physical education teachers must understand that the current pandemic and economic situation, what's happening now, they have to develop themselves professionally to maintain job security. They should work on their teaching skills and online skills, and they have to learn this instructional styles, and they have to develop themselves professionally and maintain this job security. Okay, therefore, physical education teachers should be positive. They can be visible in the community and online. They have to be innovative and flexible as much as possible to pertain in their job. So they can be viewed as a competent, professional, innovative teachers by school authorities and parents, students, and members of the community as well. If parents or community, if the principals realize that, and Department of Education as well, you have a big impact on children's health, then we are going to be more valuable for their eyes. Therefore, physical education teachers must become more skillful in technology and distance learning. But I think this generation especially is very technology-oriented teachers. They took technology education courses in school college curriculum now. It seems younger generation, younger teachers are very technology-oriented, and this is wonderful for us. Physical education teachers must maintain a positive attitude and as much as possible remain enthusiastic, even under the most difficult conditions. They must be effective promoters and advocates of themselves and to show their capacity to their programs to school administrators, parents, and other teachers as well in the school. Definitely, we have these perspectives in physical education. Actually, we know all of them last 20, 30 years, but I think it's more visible now. We have children with disabilities in our community and in our schools. Physical education teachers should include them for online teaching as well. Children with disabilities, what kind of things we can teach them. Fair play, character development is really important. Because we want them not play only sports, but develop a good character for society and community. And therefore, we can individualize technology and we can focus on a technology-oriented instruction. These are some of my references. You can look at that. Definitely, this is a new century, and we have a lot of opportunities and challenges as well. But I believe physical education teachers gonna be physical activity educators. Is nothing changed. We can promote a healthy lifestyle for our children because we know that this generation most likely less healthy compared to past generation because that past generation used to move a lot. But life is miserable now. Just basically, we don't move anymore, just driving cars. We don't walk anymore to school. Our physical activity is very, very limited. And as physical education teachers, this is a new opportunity for us. Thanks for listening to me. If you have any question, let me know. It was a wonderful opportunity for me to present this important conference. I would like to thank to Dr. Hosung at California State University, San Bernardino, and the organization providing me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.